Hello everyone, I'm GrandpaVulture, I'm a Centurion in the Vigiles, and I am going to be giving you a brief overview of how to get started in the Vigiles, and what you're going to be doing, how our trainings usually go, and some of the laws. So, to start, before you can do anything, you need to have a Skype, and you need to have an officer added on Skype. That way they can get you put in the group chat for our communication in the group. Because all communication goes through our Skype chat. Now, a lot of people get worried at this point because they think, oh, I don't have a microphone, so I can't use Skype. That's not the case. We never use verbal communication. You will never be expected to actually talk. We just use it for text communication. So, having said all that, you do obviously need to be in a roam group to be a vigil. I assume most people know that, but you'd be surprised if you aren't as aware. And then you'll need to join the vigil group itself. Now, once you've gotten hooked up with an officer, which if you haven't spoken to an officer on Skype already, then you can add one of the officers from a list that I will provide in the description below. And once you've spoken to them, you'll get a contract, and once you get your contract, you'll be accepted into the group. And from there on, you'll need to get the uniform at Parthia. Now, this is the uniform for a centurion, but this is not what you would wear if you were just an auxiliary or a tiro or a milis. As a lower rank, you're going to be wearing this uniform, except instead of a black cape, you're going to have a scroll tube. Instead of the push broom helmet, you're going to have a basic legionnaire helmet, and you'll have an iron hilt gladius. So, that's the composition of the uniform. And this is obviously Parthia, assuming if you've gotten to this point you know what this place is already. This is where we act as law enforcement. If someone commits murder or theft unlawfully, then we will charge them with Lex Basics. We'll call them to a halt. We'll then cite them for their charge. And if they resist, which they usually do, we kill them. You're going to want to have some kind of program that you can use to collect evidence. You can just record using the pre-made Roblox recorder, but it'd be helpful if you had Gaizo or print screen, so that you can just take quick screenshots of crimes taking place that you can put into the criminal database for when you're getting someone criminalized. So, let's move on to the training process. Alright, so now we're at the Kylian Hill, which I actually came here in the middle of a training. I did not realize what was going on. They're over there practicing formations. But anyway, once you're in the Vigils group and you come to this place, which you'll see the link for this very often in shouts for trainings, you're going, unless you're an officer, then you're going to get the basic morph, which takes a second. Don't bother dropping your hats, they'll automatically remove them. Give it a second. Alright. Then you're going to go fetch basic Legionnaire helm, and you're ready to participate in training. And here we have a group of the trainees in an STS, which means shoulder to shoulder, which is 4x4 lines, and they're all doing their faces. Essentially what this means is if you say about face, then everyone's supposed to turn to the opposite direction in which they're facing. If they say left face, you face to your left. If they say right face, you face to your right. If they say right incline, you turn 45 degrees to your right. If they say center face, you face in the direction of your officer. So here they're going over terms in STS. Essentially, how this works is when you are acting as a vigil, you are not allowed to speak unless you're an officer, unless you are speaking in terms. What terms are is if you are asked a yes or no question, then you will respond yes or no followed by the rank in all caps. So he is the tribunus, so they'll say yes, no, followed by tribunus. So he just asked, am I an orange? He's not an orange, so they should be answering no tribunus. There we go. Now, if you want to ask a question or ask permission to speak, then you are going to just state in all caps the rank of the person. See there, he wanted to ask a question, so he just said tribunes, in all caps. Alright, here they're about to go exercise the orbis formations. Now essentially what these formations are used for is surrounding someone to arrest them or surrounding someone to protect them. Here they're doing orbis internus, which is the arrest one. Here you see they are forming a wall of shields around to contain or to protect. See, right there they're doing orbis externus, that keeps people out who would try to kill the VIP in the center. And anytime they're doing orbis internus, they are keeping the person inside from attacking anyone on the outside. Here they're exercising combat. He's pulling them from the STS into the pit, doing a countdown. This is pretty routine for what we do for combat training. Although this doesn't really go over the techniques that we use, but you can see them being demonstrated as we have two officers fighting each other. Alright, so that about summarizes everything that you're going to experience as you're first getting into the group. Obviously I didn't go very in depth with the things that we're doing for training, but you're going to learn more details as you get into it. You're going to learn more about how to handle combat situations at Parthia, how to handle combat situations against multiple people, say as in like a riot of outsiders. You're going to learn more about how to de-escalate hostile situations. Basically just how to maintain order in general. It's our job. So, if you haven't already, get one of the officers' Skypes from the description of the video and contact them on Skype and get a contract set up. Essentially the contract says you can't leave the group for like a month without being criminalized. And it just officially makes you a vigil after you've joined the group and everything. Alright, so, with all that being said, Vale.